Yo, it's the kid, 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 man. Look, man, it's the kid. We are back in here again for another beautiful football. Got a man Nick's here, and Devo is back. Devo's back, so Devo, man. Well, welcome back. How was your Australian escape, man?
It was hot. It was interesting. Very clean. Perth is very, very clean. No rubbish anywhere. A lot of jellyfish, a lot of nature. I became a bit of a naturist.
Oh, really? So how are the koalas? Because I was speaking to you
there's no koalas there, bro. There's no koalas in Perth. No koalas there, so I can't answer that one for you.
Yeah. All right.
I did see the very worst game of football I've ever seen in my life.
Which
I went to go see Perth Glory versus Newcastle Jets. All three of us could have played in the game. It was terrible. I walked out. It was 5-2 when I walked out, and it finished 6-2. But it's terrible game of football.
Damn. Okay, Nix, what up? How's the weekend? How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's the life, baby?
My weekend was alright, actually. Obviously, Man United got their win. As you can see, I'm done in my West Indies jersey.
So United got the win, but you're done in your West Indies jersey. How does that work? I don't understand how that works, bro.
I mean, West Indies. Put it like this: you know how bad Man United are. West Indies are well. I'll come around even less frequently for West Indies than in the Man United. So, we won our first series at home, ODI series, since we beat Bangladesh a few years ago, and Bangladesh and Ireland are now some of the worst teams in the world. So that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with.
Hope. Why are we talking about cricket, bro?
Yeah, you literally took the words from my mouth, man. Bro, no. This look. With all respect, I don't want to be rude, but this ain't a colonial sports TV show, man. So look, all right, look, okay. Those days are gone, man. It's 2020. It's about Jay-Z and Lil Wayne. Not about Queen Elizabeth and all that kind of stuff, man. Shout out to your boy Meghan and Harry. Do you, man? Royal family, man. Harry. It's whack. Royal family, it's Harry. Whack. It's whack. So let's
give him 2 years before he gets whacked.
I'll say no. Oh, well. Look who we have.
Oh,
Javan, is Javan alive? Javan, what up?
Is he there?
What's up?
Oh, jeez. I mean,
hold on.
You're thinking. Wait, Javan, you might need to reduce the resolution of your video because I think it resolution. I mean, look, you're looking fresh. You're looking like a full-on CGI thing, man. But I think the higher the video resolution, it begins to go choppy. So you need to do it at the lowest resolution. You know.
Okay.
So basically, less CG. You know, so basically more like 2D anime, less Pixar. Even though anime is actually better than Pixar.
We look like the Black Brady bunch.
Yeah, but look, man, you know, what's it called? We're like the four musketeers, man. The four, the four dudes, man. So basically, let's just tell you what's coming up on the show, man. So we're going to talk about the crisis at Barcelona, whether Aguero is underrated. Nick's wrote that crap, by the way. So I didn't write that crap. A guy who's on sniffed a World Cup final or a Champions League final, saying he's underrated. I mean, look, Nick's Premier League merchants, man. Premier League merchants, right there. EPL merchants. Liverpool, whether they're invincible, and obviously our main discussion is Premier League really the best league in the world? It isn't. So spoiler alert. There you go. So let's. Wait. Before we go in. Javan, introduce yourself to the crowd. Since this is the first time here. Javan, who the hell are you? Okay. Wow. Okay, so maybe you see Gatlock knows. Javan, come to this place. Yeah, Javan, yeah. He is the guy behind the desk of thingy. So basically, Javan has gone. I was actually about to crack a joke, but it might be slightly racist. I was about to say about a joke about him being black and all black, but let me not go there. And since they're kids watching,
let's not give people ammunition.
Yeah, no ammunition, man. So let's pop off, and hopefully Javan will come back to life, man. First off, we'll talk about the Barca crisis. So again, look, this story is developing, and what we have right now currently is apparently Valverde is going to be sacked tomorrow. Nothing is official. Story's still developing, but apparently he's going to be sacked tomorrow. There's that. So Barca could be having a new coach tomorrow, named some Dragon Ball Z character named Setien. And Luis Suarez is out for the season. 4-month injury. He went in for surgery on his knee. Surgery results came out. He's going to be out for 4 months. So Barcelona are in a serious state of disrepair. So since we've not really had him for a while, let's get Devil to kick this off. Is this the end, or rather, is this the beginning of the end for Barcelona?
I mean, Suarez is a massive blow, obviously, massive blow. But you'd think with some of the players that they already have around the squad, you talk about your Dembélés, you talk about your Griezmanns, Fati, players like that, who it's now a chance for them to say, you know what, I can be that guy, and you'd expect one of them to take it. It is a bit of a crisis, mainly because of Valverde. That's the biggest obstacle that they have, regardless of whether Suarez is injured or not. This guy's not doing it. He's not been doing it. He's been getting saved by Messi for a long, long time. So if they get him out and they get someone in who can actually use the players they've got and build a philosophy and play a style that Barcelona fans are used to, then I think they might not be in as big as trouble as they would be if they were to keep Valverde.
Not to quickly jump in, but Devo, do you think that they do have the players to play the style that fans want? Do they actually have the personnel and the talent?
I think they do. I think they do. I mean, they're not Xavi and Iniesta. They haven't got those kind of players, but they have got good players. They've got very good players. De Jong is a very good player. Griezmann's a very good player. He's not the player that everyone thinks he is, but he's a very good player. So I think they've got players in the squad. They just need to free themselves up to just play that slick football and just get back to the Barcelona ways.
Oh, Javen, are you now alive?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can't.
Well,
can't hear you
boost up your mic. Boost up your mic. Boost up your mic.
We can see you, but we can't hear you.
Oh, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Yeah. So
What about now? Does that make any better?
Yeah. Hey, all right, man. So Javen, introduce the people who may not know you, and just tell people who you really are, and especially for Fan Park Live and people, because there are a lot of guys who remember Fan Park Live, how I pretty much built that show and I was the most money guy on that show. So tell guys about how HH was the sexiest, best guy on Fan Park Live, and how I pretty much redefined football analysis on that show. Javen, introduce yourself. Tell people who you are, man. Come on, man.
It's the kid. No, I'm Javan. Everyone knows me from Fan Park Live. I was the guy that always captured the clips. But yeah, I'm here. I'm willing to get involved in today's topics. Have to say some things because I know HH. I know what HH is gonna say, and when Devil Boy up, I just knew what he was implying, so I had to be on here to make sure that y'all are in check when you talk about the Premier League.
No. And also just say that, like, Javen is probably the only person that agrees with my Hazard take, because as Javen said to me, Javen also agrees that Hazard is one of the best players of the last few years. So basically, that's the whole thing. So he agrees with that. He agrees with that. So Javen, coming to you, since we agree with the whole Hazard thing, thoughts on the Barcelona crisis? Do you think Barcelona are in a serious crisis now with Valverde being sacked and Suarez being injured? Is this the beginning of the end for the Barcelona era?
You're saying it's just gone all blank now. This is a horrible.
You can't hear us.
I can't hear.
I can't hear you. I can't hear anything. Everything's gone.
Oh, I can hear Javen. Oh, wait. So you couldn't hear what I said?
Why is everything gone? I can't hear anything. Right, I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Yeah, do that.
All right. So, Nix, let me roll to you while Javen inducts himself and re-inducts himself. Is this the beginning of the end for Barcelona? Are we witnessing the end of an era?
I mean, for me, it's been an end of an era. Messi's really been dragging them through since Neymar left, and even that, as I said at the time, that Barca team, even when Neymar was there, it was effective, because they had Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. But compared to the previous Barca team, it wasn't as cohesive. Had a plan, get the ball to the front for as quick as possible. Outside of that, I don't think there was much of a plan. I'm loath to use the word functional because when you got MSN, it's a bit more than functional. They're much more than that. But it was pretty much plan A, which was nigh on perfect, but there wasn't much outside of that. So since Neymar's gone, they haven't had that explosiveness up front other than Messi. And now that Suarez is out for the season and he's obviously not getting any younger, when he comes back from the injury, he's going to be 4 months and a 4-month injury older. So a lot needs to happen. Now, whether they've got the young players who can take on the mantle, the likes of Ousmane Dembele, is it Ansu Fati, and anyone else who can take it on, that's another question. But for me, the Barca era of dominance, you might say, even though technically it ended probably 2011, I would say 2016 was when Neymar left. I believe it was 2016. I can't remember exactly. That is when, for me, was officially done. Messi's been, what do you call it? Papering over the cracks, you might say. For some, I think the learned ones among us can blatantly see the cracks, even when Messi is doing his thing. Now with Valverde going, as the reports are, for me, it's not necessarily the dawn of a new era, because who is this guy? Like, he was the ex-Real Betis coach. What's his credentials? What is his...
Messi likes him.
I talking about Setien.
Yes, Setien.
That's his credentials. Messi likes him. It must be.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Because the talk with Xavi, and I think they were over obviously in Saudi Arabia for the... And they flew up to Qatar to speak to Xavi, offered him a contract. Xavi said no, he wants to stick at what he's doing. But apparently the Qatar fans, the team that he's managing Qatar, were like, no, why? Why did you? No, please leave. But 9 points behind the top of the table when we're usually winning the league. So Barca actually wanted Xavi, and maybe they're trying to go into the direction of ex-players, which a lot of these clubs are now going to, the new generation. But Barca are in trouble. They're in trouble this season and possibly going forward.
Javan,
we got our Arsenal back.
Are you alive?
Can you hear me?
Yay!
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know what's going on. Everything was working fine. And
Javan, you're supposed to be the engineer, man. You're supposed to be the engineer.
That's what I'm saying. The tech guy stuff.
Yeah, man. So if the tech guy's not working, how's the show supposed to go ahead if the tech guy can't even pop off? All right.
I don't know what's going on. Well, go on.
All right, Javan. Is this the beginning of the end for Barcelona? Valverde may be sacked. Suarez 4-month injury layoff. Are we witnessing the beginning of the end of an era?
I think this was ending from a while ago, and it is finally here. I'm, you know what? And it's not just the end of Barcelona; it's the end of Real Madrid too. And I'm glad.
Huh?
I'm glad. You're probably wondering what I'm saying, why I'm saying this, but it goes into our main topic later, but I could not stand this Real Madrid Barcelona thing where it's like you have your players and all of a sudden there's like a little whisperer that Barcelona or Real Madrid want you, and then they're off. They're off there.
This is Hazard, isn't it? This is Hazard.
No. Oh no, this is not Hazard. You know my views on Hazard, and everyone here knows my views on Hazard. This is nothing. It's just in general. They just, every big player wants to go to these clubs. Why, I don't know. But now, as I've said before, I feel like their name just ain't enough anymore. And they don't have that pulling power anymore, which is why they haven't replaced and why their teams are where they are now. So I saw this coming for a while. And with the signings that they had, it's just, it's been coming for a while. And once Messi goes, it's gonna be real sad times over there.
Okay. I know Javan is not in my house. No one is allowed in my house, man. Are you crazy? Well, unless walk out. Let me not go there, but okay, because look, there are kids watching. But basically, you need to work for Playboy to be allowed in this crib. All right. Next topic, and also let's just like be a bit brief so we can have more time for the main topic. So, Aguero, record breaker. He has tripled down on himself becoming a Premier League merchant. You know, international flop, Premier League legend. So he scored his hat trick, and he's now the highest scoring non-English player in history, surpassing Thierry Henry. And you know, like Aguero said, that he has done some amazing things. He might have the most iconic moment in Premier League history, scoring that league-winning goal for Man City. And he has been in incredible form for Man City. But I think it doesn't change the narrative of him. One of the greatest players ever in the Premier League. Don't you dare put him in amongst the greats in the world, and he'll never be seen as a world-class legend. Don't put him in the same category as a Batistuta, as a Van Basten, or people who have done it on the proper world stage. He's a domestic merchant, and that's all he is. And I just think for a guy who I know how talented he is, it's a shame that he never really realized his full talent and could only do it in the Premier League. When he came for the big ball, massive testicle football, he was a massive, huge flop. So Nix is Javan, let me land.
No, I can't.
Because it's a flop. It's a flop. It's national flop, man. Nix.
But you know what doesn't make sense in what you're saying.
Therefore, look.
How did he get the move to Man City? How did he get the move to Man City in the first place? How did he get the move to Man City in the first place?
Oh yeah, no, because he played well for Atletico.
So he banged goals in La Liga. So it's not just a Premier League merchant, is he? Because he banged.
I said domestic merchants. Domestic merchants. I said international flop. Domestic merchants. If I'm playing a Champions League or a World Cup, Aguero, get off my team. If I'm playing against Scunthorpe or Norwich, Aguero, come on down, baby. Let's beat Norwich.
Now let's be real. At international level, he's trash. At international level, he's not done it at all. So I agree with you on that point. But to say yes, Premier League merchant.
Oh, no.
Messi's banged goals for that. He's the only one who has.
Okay, let's bring in Nick. So Nix, as the question states, which you wrote down. I didn't write this down. You wrote this thing down.
You've answered it very succinctly. Is Aguero underrated? Yes, you have. You just said it. What you said. You have answered it. Yes, he is underrated. Aguero.
Wait! Before you finish it, Javan, can you please capture this, please?
I was meant to ask you: is there a way to capture on this?
Bro, I have no idea, man. Look,
but there doesn't seem to be one.
All right, Nix, hit it.
Aguero is underrated. I'll tell you why. Because as these stats, we know he's the leading foreign goal scorer in the Premier League. For me, in terms of number 9 strikers, he is the best the Premier League has seen. I'm better than Shearer. I don't care what anyone says. Better than Shearer. He's not a better player.
He's better than Shearer.
He's not a better player than Henry. Henry all round is better. But as a striker, goal scorer in number 9, Aguero's better. His minutes to goals ratio proves that. I think he's goal in 105 games, something like that.
In 105 minutes, something around the
105 minutes.
On 106 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, Henry is a brilliant goal scorer, but he also creates as well, which makes him an all-round a better player. He's the greatest goal scorer for me the Premier League has seen. And that is no mean feat, coming here at 23 from abroad. So first he was in Argentina, then he went to Spain, then he came to England and banged from the moment. With all the injuries that he's had, to continue that scoring record season after season is remarkable. When you even put to the fact that he hasn't actually won the Golden Boot. So he hasn't had like one season where he's banged like say 40 goals, and then the next season he maybe only got, say 10, 15, and it's evened out. He's consistently getting 20. That in itself is remarkable. Now we might want to talk about his international record. He scored goals at Champions League level. Of course, Man City haven't got past the semi-finals, but he scored goals against all oppositions. When they were in the group with the likes of
how does this make him underrated? You're just naming stuff that all the stuff that you're saying. How does this make him underrated? How?
You're saying he's a domestic merchant.
Yes.
So you are not rating his feats on the continent. You underrating it. I'm going to tell you, he scored against the likes of Barcelona, the likes of Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and he scored goals in Champions League knockout games. To say that for me, and his record alone in the Champions League.
How many of those were semis? How many?
Well, he's only played in one semi-final.
Again with the semis.
He's only played in one semi-final. Is it his fault that that he's only playing? Is it his fault why Man City didn't get to everywhere? Is it his fault?
He's supposed to be the best striker that the Premier League has ever seen. So if you're that good, make it happen because you're the damn striker that plays for Man City. So
you know what I've noticed?
It's a team game.
You know what I've noticed?
But
When we
let me just say
about great goalkeepers or great defenders, Double H never says anything about how many clean sheets have they got in the World Cup semi-final. I've never heard him say that. It's only about people scoring goals. I've never heard him say something like that about a defender or goalkeeper.
Can I also say, in terms of the international record, when you look at Argentina as a whole, name me one player of them who you would say, let me go back here. Name me two players. Because there's an argument in one case and there's also a non-argument. But name me two players who in Aguero's time of playing for Argentina who has actually been successful internationally. You could argue Messi. His goal scoring record alone is very good, but in terms of by his own standards of club football, he has underachieved internationally. So if every player for Argentina underachieves internationally compared to their club, you have to question Argentina as a setup.
Batistuta has done better. Higuain has done better.
You have to question Argentina. You can't put it on.
Higuain has done better. Batistuta has done better.
Even Messi's international record
Batistuta was a long time ago.
Pales in comparison to his domestic record. So you have to question the whole Argentine setup, the manager choice, etc., etc. You can't pin that down on Aguero and say he's a flop internationally and continentally.
He is.
No, but
he's a flop. You have to live inside the mind of Double H for that to make
goal
sense.
scoring record on all fronts is there. And for me, he's the best striker, number 9 goal scorer that the Premier League has seen.
Okay, but before I go to Devil, best number 9 the Premier League has ever seen. What the hell does that mean about you being underrated? That means you're just good for that small market that is the Premier League. But when we're talking big world stage, you're a peasant.
Scorer in world
football. A peasant and a flop.
Other than Ronaldo, best goal scorer in world football.
Excuse me, what? What?
Best goal scorer in world football outside of Messi and Ronaldo.
Lewandowski doesn't exist.
Not in a world.
Jay.
I'm not. I know we're gonna move on shortly. This guy wants to bring up semis and merchants in leagues and all of that. But I would just like you to know this very wonderful stat: 5 appearances, 1 assist, 1 goal. Eden Hazard, everybody.
Okay. No.
I'm still flying. I'm still flying. Champions League.
I'm responding.
5 appearances, 1 assist and 1 goal. And that's the same in the La Liga. Well.
Oh, is that Eden Hazard as well?
That's Eden Hazard as well.
Am I allowed to respond?
Where is he in the semi? Oh, but he's the best in the world. But we move. Let's not go off topic. I just had to
let's not go off topic. Yeah.
You know, because this guy,
so you can make false accusations about it's a one player,
I've got the stats right up here. I've got it.
So you can make false accusations, but I can't respond. Okay, cool.
You can respond.
No.
Let's move on.
Let's not derail. Fine. Devil,
let's move on amicably.
Devil, please. Is Aguero underrated? Yes or no?
I don't think he's underrated. I don't think he's overrated. I think the majority of people understand what Aguero is, and they understand and they place him quite rightly as highly up the ladder as you possibly can.
Aaron Ben on TalkSport said Harry Kane is better than Aguero.
See, now that's
He's not.
That's funny.
He's not.
What if he was to say? I think by the time their careers are done, Harry Kane will score more goals.
He's
understandable. But Darren Bent, he's a Tottenham boy, isn't it? You know they chat rubbish.
Oh, he's also a Charlton boy, isn't it? But what is it?
Yeah, they talk doo-doo. Don't worry about him. Yeah, let's move on. I think Hope's hurt. Are you hurt?
No. I'm all cool, man. So Liverpool. So again, Liverpool they win again. Obviously, this links it well to our next topic, which is the fact that the Premier League is a poverty league, and people who are trying to promote the Premier League as this big elite league are false. Because how can you call yourselves the Premier League when a team are 14 points clear with a game in hand. That's a disgrace of a league. That's embarrassing. That's completely embarrassing. So Liverpool and Man City have embarrassed this league and have made this league a poverty league. So, but before we go to our main discussion of the Premier League being false advertisement, let's come first to Javan with this. Do you believe that Liverpool will become invincible, and by becoming invincible, they will render the Invincibles, Arsenal and Wenger, irrelevant for all time? Because all that Wenger is hanging on to is Invincibles. That's all he's hanging on to.
Wow.
So is that going to happen?
So,
Javan.
Disrespect.
I personally, I think Liverpool can go unbeaten. Whether they will is yet to be seen. VAR seems to be on their side, and the refs, everything is on their side at the moment. Man City also not being in the best of form, so they could possibly go unbeaten. All it takes is just
Javan, this is a yes or no question. I don't want maybes. Yes or no.
Yo, did I say that? I said I don't see them going. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I can see.
I heard the word possibly. I don't like possibly. I want a yes or no answer.
No, they will not go on defeated. But they, I need them to. I need them to.
Why?
Why? You're a Chelsea fan.
I'm a fan of football.
No.
Wow.
That's my line. You're a Chelsea fan. I'm making a Chelsea fan and a football. You're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah. Right.
So why do you want to go unbeaten? Why?
Reason, like he said, like Arsenal fans hanging on to that invincible time. It wasn't even a great I say it wasn't great, but if Liverpool goes undefeated, then I'm sorry. This is it. This is that throws Arsenal's thing under the bus, like whether they've done it or not. And because they had so many draws, this is Liverpool is doing well. I was looking, they got the decisions on their side. Even somehow VAR is supposed to make things better, but for them, it seems. But that's the reason why I just like Kyle. I like seeing records being broken, but at the same time, which I will get into it more. I don't like things being dominant for too long.
Oh, devil.
So I will get into that when we have our next topic.
I think they can go undefeated. I really hope they don't. I really, really hope they don't. But I think they can. And as we're going to go on to the next topic, the reason why I think they can go is because the league is rubbish. The quality of football in England at the moment is crap. There's no competition. The only competition they have are having a really bad season. In their terms, Man City having a bad season. Liverpool have been consistent, and that's all it's taken. They haven't been great. When you look at the games that they played, there's not many games where you can say they've been at the top of their game. Even the other day when they won that game and Jordan Henderson came up and said that was rubbish. They haven't played well for a lot of the games. I just think the rest of the league is rubbish. So, yeah, I think they could. They could.
So before we go to Nick's, thank you for the super chats, Mr. Rodney Salando. Aguero has won a European trophy like Zad, but Aguero is an inferior player to Zad, so Zad wins. Nick's, will Liverpool go invincible? Yes or no?
I'm going to say no and leave it as that.
Okay, wow. So let's right into our main discussion right now, which this shouldn't even really be a question or not. So the main discussion, sponsored by Nick's Kwamina.
Whoa, that's sponsored by Deva.
That was my one.
Okay, the main discussion, sponsored by Devin Bricarinos. Is the Premier League really the best league in the world? How good is the Premier League really? And let me just start things off. Let me just lay it all down right now. The Premier League is not the best league in the world. The Premier League is the best promoted brand. The Premier League is the best brand based on the money, based on the fanship, and based on which how the product has been able to be marketed globally. Look, I go to Nigeria where they have super sports and they are massive Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, and everything. So this product called the Premier League travels very, very well. But we have to qualify this statement. Whenever the statement comes, I say we have to qualify it. If it's in terms of branding and marketing, Premier League wins it. If it's in terms of technical on quality of football, top to bottom, it's La Liga. If it's in terms of just the quality of the matches and the entertainment of the matches, it's probably the Bundesliga. If it's in terms of a league that needs to be inducted, it's the Serie A, which should be called the Serie L. So that's my main thing, because let's keep it real. The quality of football in the Premier League isn't very good. It just simply isn't very good. Like once you now get into mid-table and now it's long ball merchants and just like Sunday league football, it's bad quality for football. So that's my thing here. So let's roll here with Devo then. Before we get to Devo, let me just hit this. So thank you, Hearty Momo, for your super chats. 4 EPL teams in European finals. Okay, I know where you're going there. Mm-hmm. Yes, that happened for one season. How does that now translate to the Premier League being the best league in the world? It doesn't. It just happened for one season, and now it's. And can I also say, before I come to Devil, Tottenham fluked their way to the final. That doesn't count.
Oh yeah,
that doesn't count.
Boom.
That doesn't count. That was a complete and total fluke. So I don't count that as them getting to the final because that was a miracle. That was a miracle.
Okay. No, let me go on that one.
Nick, shush.
I can't.
Devil.
I can't.
I will start with that. Four English teams in the European Cup final. That's correct. But when you look at the Spanish dominance of Europe for what? How long was it? Was it 10 years or something like that? It was where the Spanish team. The last 10 finals all had Spanish teams in it or whatever before last season, something like that. But they were still a two-team league. It was just Barcelona, Real Madrid. The rest of them were rubbish. Everyone was saying it's a farmers' league, even though every single year, Atletico Madrid, Sevilla, Valencia, they were all in and around semi-finals and finals. So now we can't say because of one season that England's the best league if we're not going to do the same when it was Spain dominating. The reason why I think the Premier League is trash is because the quality, as you said, the quality is terrible. Outside of Liverpool and Man City, for 2 years now, there's been no competition for the team that have won the league. No competition. Even before that, it was okay, the big four, and then it became the big six when Tottenham got their act together and things like that. Now you look at the big six, and they're scattered all over the place. Arsenal are what, 12th, 13th, something like that. The quality in the Premier League is not what it used to be in terms of marketing and branding. It's miles clear. But when you look at something like the Bundesliga, although Bayern Munich win it every single season, you look at what's happening beneath that. It's competitive. It's competitive from second downwards. It's competitive. You look at big clubs that struggle in that league every year. And in terms of, I'm not talking about what's happening in Europe. I'm talking about in terms of the actual league and the quality in the league. There's not much in the Premier League. There's not much at all outside of Man City and Liverpool. And look at what Liverpool are doing now. Liverpool are 14 points clear of a game in hand. They've not got out of second gear all season, and no one's come anywhere near them. When you look at the games each week in the Premier League, it's rubbish. You're watching rubbish. There's literally a few moments. There's a few moments in each game where you think, that was good. The rest of it is just trash.
It's essentially trash.
It is.
All right,
I'm going to let Neeks go. Neeks looks like...
Yeah. Neeks trying to defend EPL merchants, man.
Yeah.
How much do the FA pay you to about this fourth?
No, but you have to look at it as well. Look at the amount of money that they spent in the Premier League. The
Premier League is the most... the best marketed league. That is no doubt. We agree with that. Cool. That's not an argument to say that it's not the best, but that's just a fact. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Leave that to one side. I don't even have to discuss that again. When we say La Liga is technically better than the Premier League or better than other leagues, what you're actually saying is attacking wise, La Liga is better because every team in La Liga can pass and attack, score goals. But then I will also argue that every team in La Liga can't defend. They cannot defend. Barcelona.
Atletico Madrid have the best defensive record across Europe for years.
Apologies.
Yeah.
19 out of the 20 teams in La Liga cannot defend. So if we want to look at it holistically, La Liga focuses on the attacking side, the passing, the technical ability going forward, and neglects the defensive side. So I would argue that, well, how good are they really? Because football is everything. Football is from back to front. You can't just look at one. It's like
how good are Premier League at defend? No. Wait, Nix, wait. Quick response. Wait. Easy. You can't say that because my thing is, wait. Just very quickly. What would Barcelona and Real Madrid do to a Norwich, a Southampton, and so forth if they were there? Because it's very easy to say, La Liga teams do not know how to defend. How do we know that Barcelona and Real Madrid would not absolutely castrate the likes of those lower league teams in the Premier League just as badly, if not even worse than they do the La Liga teams?
I'm saying that Barcelona and Real Madrid themselves cannot defend. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Real. I Betis even in League. I'm in La Liga anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you look through the Premier League, outside of Burnley, West Ham to an extent, but probably not so much. How many teams actually play this long ball that you mentioned at the start of your thing? Most teams in the Premier League now try at least to play football on the ground, including Brighton.
And they're
quality football.
They're bad at it.
Who got rid of? But you mentioned this long ball statistic or fact that doesn't actually exist. Who actually plays long ball?
I agree with you on that one. The long ball thing is just
it's a myth.
That's not a natural truth.
It's an old thing that happened. But so if what I'm saying is, if you want to look at attacking, yes, you might say La Liga. If you want to look at defending, you might say Serie A. If you want to look at competitiveness, you might say Bundesliga from top to bottom. But I would argue that if it might be a case of jack of all trades, master of none, but the Premier League has that all from top to bottom in different aspects. So you've got teams who do attack but can't defend, and you got teams who defend very well but can't attack, and then you got teams in the middle. Whereas La Liga for me is one trick pony. Everyone plays the same way, other than maybe Atletico Madrid. And in Serie A, when I say same way, I don't mean formation. I'm talking more mentality. In Serie A, I would argue it's pretty similar in terms of everyone playing a certain mentality. But I would say the Premier League, as holistically, as football in total, it has, I would say, all the ingredients to make it the league, why it is the most watched league, why it is, for me, the best league. Additionally, it's got the best coaches. So by having the best coaches, you're ultimately going to get to a point where all the best players and all the best styles of football are then played in that league. Now, you can say the last 2 years it's been completely dominated by, Man City 1 year and then Liverpool another year. But then you spoke about La Liga, Spanish teams getting to European trophies, getting to European finals in the last 10 years. So let's look at Premier League over the last 10 years, because what's happened in the last, or 2 out of the last 3 years, is really an anomaly when it comes to the Premier League. Nobody's run away with it like Man City did 2 years ago and Liverpool are this year. So let's look at the last 10 years. And the last 10 years, you got Liverpool, who's probably going to be Premier League champions this year. Man City, who was 2 years in a row before that. And before Man City did 2 years in a row, no one had ever defended it. So we've got the competitiveness if we want to look over a longer period of time. Or we can look at the last 2 years and isolate it. But then also, additionally, in the last year, when out of the last 3 years, you've had Man United win the Europa League, Liverpool get to Europa League final and the Champions League final. You've had then 4 teams, English teams, get into the finals last year. So it depends where you want to look and what metrics you want to look at. But I know that watching football, forget the fact that I support Man United, I think if you're looking for everything in football, you want to see good defending, but you want to see good attacking. You want to see direct, quick football. You also want to see possession. I think the Premier League has it all, whereas other leagues are very, I would say, one-dimensional.
See, but this is the thing. You have to, when you're looking about quality of football in the Premier League, it's not the best in the world.
Quality.
This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the quality of football that you get in England is not. It's not the best in the world.
The matches are very low quality, very low quality matches.
Very boring. It's not there.
Let me interject.
So Javan.
So you're saying the quality in the Premier League is low, right? Okay.
It's very low.
All right, cool. So tell me, what matches in the La Liga quality is so high? What? Real Madrid, Barca, Atletico. Name me any other team that has high quality like that.
To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of La Liga either.
Okay. No, hold on. This point that I'm trying to make is you have this thing across the board across all leagues. Now we go to the goodness sake, I don't know if something cut out. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, yeah. So you look at the German league, yeah. You men are saying that it's so close right now. When is it ever close? It's because Bayern's probably not doing well, so it looks competitive, but
it's always competitive.
If Bayern were at the top, they would have probably won it already. Like it's happened. Like they're just in a state like it happens. They're
being competitive now is an anomaly, whereas the Premier League being a one-trick pony for me is an anomaly. So
exactly, that's the point I'm making.
The Premier League is an anomaly.
No,
you're being very reactionary right now because Arsenal are in a slump. So man's like, F the Premier League. It's all crap anyway. But let's be serious.
It's been on a downward spiral for a long time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it happened. Things happen in cycles. Right now, I say that the Premier League still has is the best, and I say that because all the best coaches are here. Like who's coaching Levante and all the and them man there? Like, come on, let's be serious.
We got Everton.
This is what I'm trying to say. This is
where the money
best league. Okay, money or not, it's the best league. All the managers are here. So what happens now? One, there's a lot of money here, so all other teams now they want that money, so they're gonna command dumb prices like 100 mil for someone that's worth 20 mil. This is another problem for the Premier League, where because there's so much money here, all the other clubs outside of Europe, outside of the Premier League, are commanding crazy money. Even clubs in the Premier League. So, for instance, a Barcelona could go and buy their best player in their league from every club for a little fee because they need the money. But here, like Norwich could be bottom 20th, and they have their best right back, and they'll still be asking 200 mil, even though they're about to be relegated next week. So that is also another problem in the Premier League. So we have to go for like maybe second or third targets because of money wise, or if you just want to go all out and just spend a 70 or spend a 120. So that's another thing that is affecting the Premier League in terms of the best players that we can get. But the best players are just very scattered, and it's very hard for them to all be in one team.
No, don't get me wrong. Like the Premier League do have amongst the best players in the world. It's just because that's where the money is. That's where the best players are going to be. But also, if you look at it from a thing of youth players coming through. Most of the best youth players are coming through at German sides. They're all coming through the Bundesliga. A lot of the best young players in the world come through their academies there, and then they get picked up. Or as the same with like in Spain, a lot of these young players are coming through. They get picked up.
But very quickly,
that's because the quality is there from a young age.
But real quick, I think this is a key thing here, and I think this is where I think me and Devil separates from Javan and Nix. And I'm just going to be real here. I know for a fact that Devil watches Bundesliga extensively because he has actually given me a lot of comments and everything about Bundesliga. My channel was built upon trying to cover all the leagues as much as I can. Now, I'm asking you guys to be truthful and fully honest here. It's 2020, time to be honest. We lied to our wives and our ex-wives and everything in 2019. 2020, let's us leave the side just to one side and be faithful to our wives. Javan,
stop. I didn't even get to finish. I didn't even get to finish. I'm sorry. I didn't even get to finish. But you need to, you man are being very reactionary. Very reactionary about the Premier League. Oh, what? Just because Liverpool are 15 points clear. It's a just get a grip, man. Stop.
Can I just ask you a question?
Hold on, let me finish. You man need to get a grip entirely. The Premier League the quality is not dropping. It happens.
It's dropped.
What is happening right now is there are great managers, one best managers in the league right now, and you can sometimes it's just not hard. It's not that easy to Can you just imagine all 6, 7, 8 of them all playing really well at the same time. It happens sometimes and it doesn't. Sometimes it's a teething issue. Last season, for 5 years, Spurs has been on the up and punching above their weight. And for what reasons, we don't know what happened behind closed doors at Spurs or what's going on. But the quality for them, they kind of fell off in terms. It's not even the quality. I think it's just something has happened there. So, things are just a bit out of place at the moment. And that is the issue there. So that's why Tottenham has dropped. Leicester now, who is up there right now in the top 4, that just shows you that anything could change right now in the league. It doesn't exactly. It shows that there's quality. It's not Atletico. It's not Atletico, Barca. Hold on. It's not Atletico, Barca, Real Madrid, or Barca, Atletico, Real Madrid. It's not no rotation between the three every each and out. Oh, I can right now make a prediction, and 9 times out of 10 I'll probably get it right on the position of the La Liga and all the other teams. So you need to stop this. Okay, you don't have to stop, but this whole biasness of other leagues, it just stops. It for me personally, it needs to stop, because you need to look like one season, like the top 4 won't be the same. Our top 4 won't be the same next season. Okay, yeah, Liverpool might win it again, Man City. But for me personally, I think it could be a whole different thing. The game is going to raise again. Look at last season, Man City, Liverpool pushed each other. Now Liverpool's...
This is my point.
Next season, it will be... Leicester's now in, here, there. Brendan Rodgers is doing this. You never know.
This is my point. This is my point.
You just never know. This is competitive. This is quality. Just look at Barcelona. Hold on. Just look at Barcelona or whoever else.
Javan, chill, Javan. I need to do the super chat.
Let me finish, innit? Let me land, as you say.
No. Let him do the super chat, man.
Super chat. So, Gatlock, thank you very much for your 5-point super chat. So, Gatlock says the Premier League is dependent on foreign players and managers for the excitement. But when the referees are all English, we can see the ish quality.
Let me respond.
That doesn't make sense.
The question isn't about English players.
Yeah.
The Premier League is for me, the Premier League is the best because of the things that you mentioned, because it's got all the foreign players and managers. Now, the reason why they have to get the foreign players and managers might be because, the English players aren't good enough, the English managers aren't good enough. Cool. But that's what makes the Premier League the best, because they haven't just settled on the domestic talent, you might say, or the lack of it, thereof. They've got the money by marketing, etc., and brought the best talent in. Now, there's a point that I think was E-Man made earlier. He said something and he goes, but we're talking about quality. But I'm saying, how do you define quality? Because I'll give an example. When people spoke about Barcelona, and they say, or Barcelona play the best football. Spain play the best football. I'm like, no, there's more than one way to skin a cat. If the result, the end justifies the means. If Jose Mourinho wants to park the bus and win 1-0 or win 3-1, counter-attacking, and go to the new camp and lose 1-0, knowing that 3-2 takes him through, that is good football. Good football is not passing, getting 80% possession,
getting the results.
3-0 at
I agree with you.
Or getting thumped by Barcelona, because that's the way you play. So how are we defining quality football? Are we saying who makes the most passes, or are we saying it's a thing from back to front, goalkeeping, defending? Real quick.
Yeah. Because this actually, I wanted to ask this question ages ago, but I didn't have a chance, and then I'll give it to Devil.
I'll answer
this.
I think I know your question. I'll answer it in one word, and then you can give it to Devil once you answer.
Okay. Okay. So my question is, honestly speaking, how much football do you watch outside of the Premier League with regards to La Liga, Bundesliga, and Serie A? How much do you watch extensively with regards to league games?
Before Ronaldo left, I used to watch La Liga weekly. Since Ronaldo's left, I've barely watched it. That's only been a season and a bit. So my analysis doesn't have to. It's not based on one season. I've watched La Liga. Let's say 10 years since Ronaldo left Man United for Real Madrid. I haven't really watched it since. I watched
and this was all games in La Liga, not just Real Madrid games.
Well, every single game have hope, man. But I watch it every. Come on, you don't even watch every game.
No. Because because obviously it's not about watching every game. Because my assessment is that I just feel that to make an informed decision with regards to what is the best league, you have to at least watch a good portion of league. It is physically impossible, inhumanly impossible to fully watch every single match of every league. But I think because my thing is that if you watch La Liga, there is no way you can watch La Liga games and say that Premier League has better football than La Liga. That makes no sense. It literally just doesn't make it.
I agree with Nick's points when he's saying about there's different ways to play football, and that is something that I agree with. And this is another reason why I'm a champion for the Bundesliga, because one thing you have in Bundesliga that you don't get in the Premier League is starting to come in a little bit. Well, probably not because there's less. But what I was going to say is the smaller sides in Bundesliga, they will play against the big sides and they will go with their own philosophy and play it. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. This is the way I choose to play football. This is how we're going to play. Whereas in the Premier League, you got teams, even Man United, Mourinho, when he was there, and he would say, right, we're going to defend. We're going to defend because we don't want to get beat. In Bundesliga, it's like, we're coming to beat you. And that makes it a lot more entertaining.
Is that
and
good?
Quality of football.
If you end up,
How did that?
No, wait.
How did that fare for Norwich?
This makes it this. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying.
Is that good football?
It's good football because they're both teams.
I
Both,
think-
how much? Wait.
No.
Wait.
Good football is good football in and of itself.
Wait. How much Bundesliga do you guys watch though?
No, I'm just giving an example. You said you go out there. I'm saying for me, if you go out there to play the better team at their game, that's bad football.
Unless you're Frankfurt and you beat Bayern Munich 4-0 in their own yard.
Well, obviously, but
this what happens. Football is about going out and playing your game the way you want to play it. For me, and some teams in Bundesliga will be strong defensively and they'll win that way. Some teams will go out there and they'll play attacking football and they'll win or lose by the sword. That's what they do. But what I'm saying in terms of quality is tactically, I prefer the football in Bundesliga because there's a lot more tactical battles happening. You can see changes throughout the game. The attacking football seems to be a lot better. There's more goals in Bundesliga than
the quality of the games are just better. It's more entertaining to watch. It's more entertaining to watch.
It is for me. It's just a better product in actual terms of football rather than business.
I hope just bring up Joe Barnes's comment. Just bring it.
Joe.
Oh, there's a hoop super chat.
Okay, no, boy. Let me answer his super chat. So, George Lyle, thank you for your super chat. So, the HH, stop dodging the question and define quality. For me, my thing is that quality should be very basic because we've all played football before. We've all played football at whatever level. And there is a basic sense of basic footballing quality with regards to your ball control, technical ability, what you can do with the ball, and just your footballing brain and your footballing IQ, which is very basic. Hence why if you just go to an all-weather pitch or you go to a park, you can tell, oh, that guy's a good football player, or that guy can really play. It's a natural thing. So which is the point that Devo is making, there's a difference between, okay, this team is been managed the wrong way, and this team plays good football in and of itself. Like when you look at the Bundesliga teams and the La Liga teams, they play good quality football in and of itself. The Premier League teams, for not all of them, for a lot of them, the quality of the football is bad. The matches are low quality. So when I'm just looking at the quality of the football in terms of technical ability, football decision making, footballing IQ, your footballing intelligence, it is of a lower quality than the Bundesliga or La Liga. The way that each player thinks about what they want to do when they have the ball, when they don't have the ball, and their technical ability and quality is better in the Bundesliga and La Liga as opposed to the Premier League. That's just that, and that's just what you are defining by quality, where it goes to the very core of football, which is your technical footballing quality on the ball. So,
anyway, I'm just gonna end up repeating myself. On the ball, football. They say possession is 9/10 of the law. You can win games of football, which we know, without dominating the football. And I feel that there's a lack of defensive nous in La Liga compared to the Premier League. Now,
I agree with that.
I'm going to say some of these players are good defenders, but because of the philosophies, and I guess most of the coaches in La Liga are probably Spanish. I don't know them all by name, but they're probably Spanish. So you're generally going to have a more set philosophy. Whereas in England, because there's a much more a mix of players as well as managers, therefore styles and tactics, I think there's more. That's why they say in the Premier League, it's like hardest to score in. Because teams will set back. sit back and defend. Whereas in La Liga, not saying it doesn't exist, but not to the same proportion. Where teams
Didn't Man City win 6-1 recently?
But I mean, these are going to happen.
Or was that the Matrix? Was that
These results happen everywhere.
Oh, what? So a team loses 6-1 and all of a sudden it's the worst league in the world. Oh, look, stop it, man. Look, can you pull up a comment for me, please? From Adrian Matthew Camotho.
So say the Pep of football analysts destroyed football terrorists. Well, I did destroy football terrorists. Me and Terry are good friends, man. We're going to be working very, very soon, man. Don't worry. It's just that Terry knows that I'm that dude. He knows I'm that dude. He knows I'm that dude. Don't worry.
Yeah, pull up that comment from Adrian Matthew, please.
Which one?
How is the Premier League the best league when Spanish teams have won the most Champions Leagues?
But it depends. How far are we going back?
Must be
Now,
my point is that the Premier League's in decline, and it's no longer the best. It was the best. It's no longer the best. That's my point.
To answer that question, I don't know if this would have affected it, but way back, English clubs got banned from the Champions League because of Liverpool's antics, and those 5 years, I'm pretty sure, were missed opportunities because we had really good footballing sides in that time. Because you're talking, I think, from the Liverpool. 85s to the 90s, 91. So there could have been a chance there for English teams to pick up 5 trophies or whatever in that time. I don't know if it would have made it better or more in terms of how much trophies were won, but some things like that could affect the stats. And Champions League is a whole different gravy. Like, it can happen for you sometimes, and it can't. The way how the ball rolls, so you can't judge a league on that.
My initial point was, when you look at the quality of the Premier League, let's say 3, 4, 5 years ago compared to now, you can't tell me it's the same quality product. The football's trash compared to what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's declining. It is declining.
I would say, I agree, it's declined. I'm not talking 5 years ago. I would say that let's say up to 2011 or so. I was talking about the 10 year from 2000 to 2011. I would say the Premier League was steadily getting better until it probably peaked around the 2006, 7, 8, that period.
Yeah.
But obviously Barcelona was just a level above, but overall the Premier League.
I'd agree.
It has dipped from there. Agreed. But I would say that in the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years, I think it's got better from 2015 to now than worse. I think it's got better because I argue some of the coaches, the likes of Pep are here, Klopp is here, Mourinho's here. Obviously Ancelotti's just come now.
But Mourinho's finished.
He's finished. But he's better than Valverde. So I'm just saying, I think it's better in the last 5 years, but no, it's nowhere as good as it was 10 years ago. Because as you said, Liverpool are cruising to the title, and I wouldn't
happens in cycles, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, even Man City and Liverpool last season were both like miles ahead. Do you know what I mean? It's like
no. Because see, what I'm saying is that there is a massive trend happening that. I didn't say the Premier League was a poverty league last season. I said the Premier League from henceforth until Klopp and Pep remain is going to become a poverty league because a trend is happening with regards to when City got to 100 points, they beat United like by 16, 17, 18 points. When Liverpool and Man City got 98 and 97 last season, Chelsea were behind Liverpool by about 14, 15, 16 points. Liverpool, 14 points ahead. So can't you see the trend that has happened in the last 3 years? In the last 3 years, City and Liverpool have completely lubricated the rest of the competition, making the league a poverty league.
Yeah, that Man City got 100. Liverpool were what, 20 points behind? And in the next year, they were 1 point behind. That's the Premier League. Because the Premier League's got the resources of the managers and the money, you can go from 4th, scraping into the Champions League, to challenging for a title the next year. Whereas other leagues don't have that ability because it's changed a little bit in La Liga recently, But in the past, Barcelona and Real Madrid used to have like 80% of the TV money. So nobody could even touch them when it came to competition. The moment you even think about challenging, buy your best player. The likes of what Bayern Munich have been doing to Dortmund for years. So, yes.
Yeah, that's why I get called the Farmers League.
Throughout the last 3 years, it's been blitzed. 1 year in between, it wasn't. The year before, Chelsea won it. And the year before that, Leicester? Yeah. So I'm just like, we can put it down to 3 years, or let's do it to 5 years, and you'll see that whereas in the La Liga in 5 years, you're still talking Real Madrid, Barca. Not even Real Madrid, Barca. Barca won it last year, and they were terrible. They were terrible.
And you want to talk about quality? Okay.
Okay. Wait, look, we have to agree to disagree. I think, look, at the end of the day,
I respect La Liga.
What's the poll saying? What's the Twitter poll saying?
You put the poll up.
Oh no, I've got to put out the poll.
I respect.
The poll would have said La Liga.
Brick of the week.
Can I just say, I respect the quality of La Liga and the Bundesliga. I don't watch the Bundesliga nowhere as much as I do even La Liga, and of course Serie A even further down. But I just believe that I'm not a. I guess when it comes to me watching football, it's not just about death by 100 passes. Some people love that. I like to see, Chris Wilder having his 2 overlapping centre backs. Like what? Overlapping centre. And I think because the Premier League is so vast in nationalities and therefore its football philosophies, it gives a much more broader and I would say complete outlook of football as a whole than other leagues. Other leagues, you'll see that's Spanish football, that is German football, that is Italian football, whereas the Premier League is completely different. I think it's everything encompassed.
All right, so Javan,
what answer is there?
Real quick, look, Nix, you're wrong, man. So like, I mean, like, look, you can totally once you're still wrong. Javan, do you have the Patreon link? And could you post that into the live chat?
No, I do not have the link, and we would have to. We'll be ready for next week.
There
next
you go.
Show.
Something to look forward to.
So,
but yeah, this is the football dugout team, guys. Everyone, the man behind the camera, Javern. Above me is the very deluded kid, the kid. HH and Devo, Neeks. I'm sorry. You cannot come on here, HH, and just because we don't move, you say that we're all wrong, huh?
But no.
Did you even listen to anything that we all said?
No,
did you?
I listened and you're wrong.
Did you even take a?
I listened and you're wrong. No, you said I listened and you're wrong.
You know what?
You're
He
still
actually,
wrong.
I can understand, but no, you just.
No.
What's even the point of this then?
I can only tell you the truth. My honest view is that
No,
I
you
listened
tell us your
and
facts.
you're wrong. You listen and you're wrong. Okay, so wait. First of all, okay, let's take the
You're
super chat
wrong.
and then we need to just explain the whole pattern thing and then we can then get out of here. So Amjad Critic, thank you very much for your super chat. For everyone who will win the European Golden Boot, it might be Immobile. His stats are insane.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for Immobile.
Yeah, he's the first person to hit 20 goals this season. I think Lewandowski's on 19. I'm going to go with Lewandowski.
I'm going to go with Immobile.
What we got? Immobile on 20, Lewandowski 18, Timo Werner 18, and Vardy 17.
Danny Ings. Could be Danny Ings.
Rashford.
Didn't even get to.
Rashford's smashing it this year.
Think of
You know what? And you know what? Big up Terry, because Terry was saying he's going to get 20 plus goals, and everyone laughed at him.
Oh, listen, I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you who didn't laugh at him, but we'll save that discussion for the end of the season because I love it.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Sorry. Javan, real
Tammy
quick.
Abraham.
Wait, Javan, real quick. Nick, shush, you've talked way too much. Nick, you've talked way too much. Nick, you've talked too much, man. You've talked too much. Man, you talk too much, man.
I remember.
The man is 14. Listen,
I remember.
Okay, thank you. Joven, can you just give a explanation about the Patreon and what it's about, and just like how guys can support that we can get out of here after I've listened to such crap from that guy in the bottom right of my screen.
So the Patreon is going to help us out, guys, to continue to create more content for you guys, create extra shows, help us to get equipment so we can all possibly be in the same place together, because right now, as you've seen, we're all over the gap.
I think it's safer this way.
Yeah, because if I get a hold of HH's neck. But yeah, the link will be out for the next show. It would really be glad if you guys could help support us, so we can bring you even more content. There'll be exclusive stuff as well, depending on what you sign up for, and we will be also making a chat. When I say a chat,
so I mean, wait, can you remember a bit of the stuff that they'll be getting if they contribute?
Well, yeah, that's one of the things I was just saying just now. There will be a chat where you can, where you'll be in a chat with us, and you can discuss football topics at certain times when we're available to discuss. There'll be other things.
At work.
There'll be exclusive videos that we will record. We'll have exclusive live videos as well on there, and also depending on what you sign up for, you can get a t-shirt or a jumper. More on that will come soon.
Woo!
Ooh.
Perth Glory shirt if you want it.
It's one that will come soon, but yeah, please, once it's out, please support us so we can help bring you more content.
All right, cool. So let me just get the super chats before we get, because guys will piss me off. Go Gatlock, thank you for the super chats. HH has plastic fans. They always back next year. Yeah, that's actually quite weird. I need to actually comment on that. First of all, this is called Half Hope Football Hall, and the amount of love that the Devil gets, Knicks gets, even this dude with his deluded comment, Javen, is getting stuff.
Even me. Yeah.
I hardly anybody says, HH, I love you. HH, you're amazing. All I hear are hairline jokes, LL, and all this kind of stuff, which I just say, you know what, it's sad. But you know what? I've got
we don't
thick
like
skin.
tribalism.
But you know why that happens? You know why that happens? Because you would say stuff like like Ronaldo is not even in the top 10, and then you've got other people, and then you got other people that would you know, come with facts, and then you know, and then everyone's gonna be like, yeah, this is why.
You know what it is? Usually you just talk to them and they can't really fight back. We are the voice of the people.
We're the voice. We stopping that now. This dictatorship is over. It's not happening no more.
No time for tyranny.
Dictatorship is done.
Dora, this dictatorship will resume on tomorrow's live without these three people, man. Dora, you'll be getting everything one way. Nothing will be coming back.
Someone asked a question. They asked me, what?
I'm starving, man. Please. What the hell do we get out of here, man? I need to eat. What the heck?
I ate my cereal.
No, we have to have a quick chat after this anyway.
I need to have my dinner as well.
Someone asked me how I think West Indies are going to do in the T20.
No, wait. Nah. We're ending. Nah. I thought it was actually football. Nah. You ain't talking cricket. No way. Guys,
it's the cricket dugout.
It's been good. Thank you very much for
the... Wait. Quick. Before you end the... Well, you can end the stream, but let's stay...
No. I'm not ending with... Are you sick? Ending with LBW, Golden Dog. Get the heck out of here. What the hell? Guys, it's all swell. It's all real. We'll see you, man. Peace out. Stay true. And we're out. Peace out.